we can usually fool ourselves, okay? We can fool ourselves in the sense that we kind of give in to our reality, or what we perceive is the real reality. We can give in to the things which people tell us of how we should live our life. We can see the horrible things in the world which are happening right now and say, look, I'm going to live in a life of fear and just refuse to really be who I want to be. And I think there is no greater time in our lives that we should actually stand up together and realize, actually, despite what's happening in the world right now, despite my own thoughts of what I can or cannot do, there is a better way that we can make changes. There's a better way of living if we change our mind, our thoughts, our feelings to actually create the world that we want to actually be a part of. Because we can allow those doubts and those fears and those self-talk to really bring us down. We can allow the news to say, and then they could be reporting the truth or not. It's regardless, whether we take on certain truths which are stopping us live our life. That's what I'm really concerned about. Like, where is our attention going? Is it going on all the pain which is happening right now? Or are we able to change our thoughts, our feelings that actually make a difference in this world? You see, when I first started doing podcasting, YouTube videos, it was about trying to make a difference. It was about making a difference in my own life, that I wanted to be able to get myself to a place where I wanted to be happy. I wanted to feel that wholeness, that contentment, that fulfillment. And I really think that when I started out on this journey, I was facing a lot of fear. Despite having let go of many of my issues, I had to make that jump of being potentially judged or people saying certain things. But I didn't want it to stop me. I didn't want it to stop me putting my work out there. Now, you might be having some dreams and some goals and some great missions and visions for where you want to go in life, but maybe that self-talk is kind of pulling you back. Maybe the thoughts that you're responding to based on what people are telling you, or what is the world telling you right now. Because we can easily lose ourselves in that cycle of fear and doubt. We can lose ourselves as to what is really happening right now. But there is no greater time that we can be connected to one another. There's no greater time where you can actually learn and grow more than ever before. With the resources out there, you have the ability to make a critical decision in your life. A critical decision which can transform everything as to where you're heading. Now, those decisions happen right here. You may have made decisions in the past about limiting beliefs, and it may not be even a conscious decision, but somehow, somewhere, where along the line we get lost. We get caught up in our own worries, doubts, and fears. We get caught up in the turmoil or the spiraling out of control, which makes us feel small, which makes us feel as if we are unable, unworthy, not good enough to achieve what we really want in this world. Now, I want you to realize this. When you begin to give up your reasons, when you begin to really refuse to allow those external things which are happening right now in this world, when you refuse to give in to that fear, when you refuse to play small just because some people are saying that you should play small, that you're not capable, and who are you to go ahead and achieve those goals? This is a decision that we have to make. And it is all around our own happiness. Are we operating from a place of fear and doubt, or are we operating from a place of drive, momentum, the connection with who you are as a way of being in this world? And it really is a choice. It's a choice between staying the same, living a lifetime of regret, and actually making the difference that you want in this world. Now, we all have that ability to do. You see, you may be seeing extraordinary people in the world doing extraordinary things, whether it be the entrepreneurs making lots of money and providing jobs in the economy, whether it be leaders of this world, whether it be great sporting personalities, whoever it is who's making a difference, charities and so on. You might see them as being extraordinary. But they are just normal people doing extraordinary things, and they are no different from you right now. You see, all that has to happen is making that critical decision that causes you to rather have reasons as to why you are like you are, or how you cannot make an impact on this world. You have to be able to move yourself to taking responsibility for this moment. Now, I'm not saying that it's going to be easy. In fact, it might be hard. It will be a journey for sure. But that journey will be the most powerful thing that you may ever embark on. It might be the one thing that causes you to experience that completeness and that oneness that maybe you've been seeking right now. Whether that be that fulfillment in your work, fulfillment in your relationships, your career, your finances. It might be that one thing that once you begin to move yourself from that place of fear, scarcity, and doubt in your own world, or just watching the world happening right now, but if you begin to actually rise up and take a stand for what is right, and what is right is really what is good for you, what brings you alive, which brings you to feel that level of achievement, success, fulfillment, drive, love, contentment, fulfillment, all of those things. You have to make that decision. It all starts with a decision. And when we make that decision, your life will begin to see, or you'll be able to see more possibilities than ever before. You see, possibilities are always there. Opportunities are always there. However, when we're playing small, when we have reasons as to why we are like we are, if we have reasons as to why, well, this situation happened to me, so therefore I can't do this, or this person is telling me this, so therefore I cannot do this. If you're beginning to play at that level, we're going to really have a big trouble in living that life of emotional freedom. And it does not have to be that way. You can make a difference in other people's lives, in your own life. And the best way to make a difference in other people's lives is for you to operate from that place of love for your life. To begin to operate from that place of bliss, of contentment, where you decide that you're going to focus more on the things which make you happy and looking for other things which make you happy. That means other people will begin to see examples of what people can do in this world. You have to make that critical choice. Rather being just a product of life, rather just being a product of your environment, instead to allow life to be a product of what you choose to create. That is what we have to do. We have to begin to change the tide. We've got to change the way we're swimming. We've got to change our thoughts and our feelings that will allow us to make us to feel a greater way of being in this world. You have to begin to make that choice, that decision that you're going to give up this depression. Because all the things that we may be experiencing, the depression, the fears, the phobias, the anxieties, the worries, the doubts, the scarcity, the financial issues that we may be facing. We might be experiencing things in our relationship, from jealousy, from being hurt in the past. We might be having trouble in our workplace. But that right here, or that situation right now, the thoughts and the reasons you have are only showing up evidence as to where you've come from. Now, that evidence of what you're seeing in your life is just evidence right here, right now. But when you start to make that change and go, look, I am done with the reasons. I am done with my own excuses. I am done with all of those things. That is where you start to make the change. When you give up the limitations, when you give up what people are telling you to do, when you know that it's not what you want to do, when you give up when you're being told by the media or Facebook or social media people, all those kind of things, and you go, look, this is my life and I'm going to live it the way that I want to. I'm going to do whatever it takes. You see, those people who are doing extraordinary things made a decision to live life on their terms. Now, they went through probably more stress in the beginning than actually keeping the issues that they may have had. But they pushed through it. They thought that the reason why I want to change is far bigger than the why, which is keeping me back, the reason and the excuse. And I'm not going to live a life of regret. I'm going to do whatever it takes. You see, when you begin to operate from that level, when you go, look, I don't know how I'm going to get there. I know that people are going to say, I can't do this. But when people say, I can't, I'm going to go, I can. I will. Why? Because I am in control as to where I'm heading. I am in control of my destiny. I am going to be my potential. I'm going to do whatever it takes to make the changes that I want to begin to see in my life, in other people, in the world. Right now, as I said, those reasons and excuses we have are making you see your present circumstance a certain way. And it almost justifies the reasons as to why we are like we are. It gives you reasons to stay stuck. It gives you reasons to stay the same. But all they are reasons. That's all they are. And those reasons are created by our past experience. You see, our past experience is an indication as to what might happen in the future. Our past experience can cause us to have certain belief systems around about ourselves and others, or what we can or cannot do. We can make past decisions that have caused us to have worries, doubts, fears, phobias, you name it. Those are simply decisions, beliefs which were created in our past experience. But your past experience does not have to be where your future is going to be. Your past experience does not have to be a reflection as to where you're heading. In fact, when you make the choice, the decision in this moment to refuse to give in to your past, to refuse to give in to what people may have said in the past or what people have done to you, when you refuse that and you go, now is my time to shine. I'm going to do whatever it takes. Things might get worse temporarily, but that initial pain that you may be going through, that stress or that doubt at first of making that choice, might be hard at first because you're pushing up against the things which have been holding you back. You're pushing up against that fear and that scarcity. You're pushing up against those things. But that's okay, because you're also telling them that it's not going to be this way anymore, that I'm going to do whatever it takes. And when you get to that point of persistence and consistency, that fear will begin to diminish. That worry and anxiety will begin to disappear. That doubt, that inner voice which has been telling you that you cannot, will begin to quieten, because you're now consistently overwhelming it with absolute joy and passion as to where you want to be. You're beginning to create the life that you desire. That is where we begin to transform. And the stresses that we're going through right now will be also our greatest teachers. The problems that we're going through right now can be our teachers. We can actually allow those things, our problems, our issues, our conflicts, to guide us to actually make the biggest changes. And I've said this before, my own anxiety, worry, and lack of confidence caused me to step up, caused me to drive forward, caused me to do something about it. You see, when things are happening in the world, the horrible things in the world, whether it be just with ourselves, the belittling of how we see ourselves, this negative self-image, that can be your biggest instigator of change. Because you're making a decision that I'm not going to live this way anymore. I'm going to actually do something different. I'm going to allow myself to do something more than ever before. That is where you will transform. The clients that I work with, the people in Mind Mastery, those people, because I know them personally, hopefully I know many of you watching and listening to this, but those guys in like Mind Mastery and my own one-to-one clients, they are taking a stand for what they really want. They are utilizing all my work, all my hypnosis tracks. They're utilizing the live coaching, the one-to-ones, the group coaching, all those things. They're utilizing it because they're taking a stand. They are going through stress sometimes. And when they make that decision, they're building up the momentum. They're causing themselves to get even bigger and better despite the past. They're opening their mind to different opportunities, not based on fear, not based on scarcity, not based on doubt. They are actually beginning to seize that opportunity. In any moment, we have a choice. We have a choice to do something which is better for us, or a choice to stay the same and keep on repeating the same old habits and behaviors. It's just a choice. And it can be a hard choice. Don't get me wrong. I've been there. It was hard to give up that label I gave myself as a blusher or someone who was not good enough to be able to go for what I want. It felt like my identity, and the nature of just thinking about giving that up meant who would I become if I finally gave myself permission to let go of this? It's scary, right? It's scary to think of the possibilities. It's scary as to what might happen if we do achieve our goal. What if we fail making things happen? And that's okay though. It's far better to make that decision that your life is going to change today compared to living that lifetime of that issue, that internal conflict, which is causing that emotional pain. There are far better ways of changing. There are far better ways that will allow you to see the beauty of what is in life. We have to step up together. I mean, I'm doing these videos, the podcast, the YouTube, all those things, not like for financial gain. Yeah, I mean, I got to get paid, I got to eat, I got to do those things, but I'm not doing it for that. I was talking to Melissa about this today because all this stuff's going on in the world, and I was thinking like, I'm far better off being in this world and making a difference as much as I can than not being in this world. The nature of me being here, the nature of me being alive just like you right now, means I have an opportunity to make the world a better place. I have an opportunity to do something which is good. And you have that opportunity too. And it starts with you. It starts with you transforming your life. You see, when you transform your life, you will see far more opportunities. You will see so much more than you can ever imagine. You will experience feelings deep down on the inside, which you kind of know that you have, in such an immense, powerful way where you realize, yes, the world is not necessarily in a good place right now, but you know what? Things are changing. I am changing, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes. And as I said, when I went on this journey of putting things out there, is because I wanted to be able to help as many people as I possibly could. And I want you to realize that you need to be able to step up and make that decision yourself. It doesn't have to be doing what I do, but it's more about being you. It's about being authentically you. And what is the authentic you? A person full of love, joy, passion, taking control, taking massive and inspired action to live a life of emotional freedom. We have to make the change ourselves. Now, I will be your guide. I like to think, hopefully you see me as a supporter, but I want to support you. I want to help you get you to where you need to be. That is my passion in life. That's what I love doing. But you need to be the person to receive that and take action upon it. You have to take action upon what is right. And do you know what right is? Living a life free of issues. Yeah, sure, we might get more issues in the future, but you have then the necessary tools, knowledge, and wisdom, having overcome your biggest one, to overcome anything which heads your way. But that decision that you and I make today, together, as a pact, will allow you to go over those boundaries, will allow you to push through that fear. And it's not about fighting the issue. It's not about fighting the fear. It's not about fighting the scarcity or the low self-esteem, the depression or the anxiety. It's about connecting with the nature of who you really are. You see, when we begin to think about our issues, we begin to hate it, we begin to fight it, and we really actually drive a deeper wedge between you and the success. So I ask you to just give up those limitations, give up your whys, and actually welcome the new way of being. Welcome the new possibilities. Allow your mind to meditate on what is good in your life right now. Allow your mind to consider what you can do today to make that change. What can you do to invest time in yourself to make that change? Are we going to just continually be bombarded by other people's thoughts, the news, or our present situation? Or are we actually going to bombard our mind with what is good for us, what is right for us, which allows us to actually awaken our mind, which allows us to awaken our spirit, our soul, our beingness, our wholeness, our connection, our love, whatever it is, you name it, you put it. I don't even like to label these things, but obviously I've got to contextualize it in a certain way to hopefully that you get that. But you have to be that instigator. Now, sure, I can help you. You can get value from the free that I do. You can join Mind Mastery. You know about it. I talk about it enough. I'm actually going to be limiting it very soon. I haven't got much space remaining. So there's things you can do like that where I will personally coach you to your success. You see, there's always opportunities, and they're far cheaper than you think. They're far more amazing things you can do. But usually that reason is stopping you. Your past, your own story. I mean, what stories do you tell yourself? Are you telling yourself the story of scarcity? Are you telling yourself the story of I can't? Are you telling yourself the story of limitation? The poor you? Now, I have a lot of compassion. I really do. So I'm trying to say this in a way which kind of wakes us up together. But because I respect you so much, I'm also going to say that story that you're telling yourself is causing you to remain the same. So give up your story. Give up the reasons. Give up the labels. Give up the excuses in the most empowering way, that you begin to see something else. You see, when you change your mind, you change your reality. You change what is possible. I was saying right in the beginning about extraordinary people. They are normal people just doing extraordinary things, and there's no difference between you and them. No difference at all. Maybe the one difference is that they chose to give up their story. They gave up the excuses and the reasons for remaining the same. They refused to buy into what society said or what people said. All those things. They refused to. And they began to operate from what is right for them. They pushed through those challenges. They pushed through whatever faced their way. And you have to do the same. I mean, I believe in you. And you might not even believe in yourself right now. You might not even believe that you can change. And to a degree, I want you to be at peace with that. Because usually that's the nature of the issue. You see, if we have a lack of confidence, depression, anxiety, fears, doubts, scarcity, the nature of the issue is that you may doubt what you can do. But that doubt, which is part of the issue, does not have to disable you from getting your success. So despite not necessarily believing in yourself, take that leap to do it anyway. Take that leap to maybe take on what I'm saying, to test this out. Don't take on my words as truth, by the way. There's just my personal truth. Everything I say is just simply coming from my own mind, from my own experience, from having worked with thousands of people, literally thousands of people I've worked, let alone the over 7 million people right now have listened to or have watched my videos and audios. This is just from my experience over the last 15 years of working with people and 33 years of being on this world, this earth. They're just my advice. These are just my thoughts for living. Now take what you think is right, which resonates with your heart, which resonates with your being. If it resonates, take it, use it, apply it, and see what happens, regardless if you believe it will work or won't work. Remember, it's a part of the issue. The doubt that it will actually work for you is part of the issue. So I hope you enjoy that. And just realize that you are always capable, able, but you just have to make that decision to invest that time in yourself. Even invest in the decision. That's the greatest investment that you'll ever make, is the investment in making the decision that something's going to change. But I'm going to do whatever it takes. I might get people in my life which are going to bring me up more. I might invest in courses, audios, books, and things like that. But the decision is going to be the investment. And then you find the time. You find the money. You think, okay, the decision of being the best me possible is far more worth investing time than maybe watching something on the TV. The investment in that decision to rise up and do whatever it takes is going to be far better than the decision to go out socializing that evening. I'm going to put that 1 hour aside and just focus on me and get that connection. The decision to actually spend money on accountability programs like mind mastery or one-to-one coaching or hypnosis tracks, the real big things which will absolutely get you to where you want to be, is going to be far more better, I'm sure, than the investment on going to Starbucks or going to that meal just once a week, just cutting out that one restaurant visit a week or even a month. That investment of that $57 is going to be far better than spending that $57 elsewhere. That's the choice we have to make, and that's just being real. I don't even mind you not joining me personally. What I am concerned about is when people say they're not got the time when they have the time, but they're not prioritizing their time in the right way, or they're not prioritizing their money. Like I said, it's not for everyone. We can go through harsh times, but think about it as an investment in yourself. Like the time that you're putting into yourself is going to give you a better return than the time spent watching a TV or a movie or the news or whatever it is. Just cut that out. We've got to remove ourselves from that situation. We've got to get out of our own way and out of the things which are not adding the total value. Now, I'm not saying cut out all TV if you like TV or movies. I mean, I watch movies. I don't watch TV, but I like movies. But do you know what? I invest far more time in myself than anything else. Because I know when I invest time in me, then Melissa's going to get the best value from me. Then my family's going to get the best value from me. They're going to see someone who is happy. They're going to see someone who is emotionally available, who is present with them. compared to the behaviors we're presently doing, which are either costing too much time, costing too much money, and not getting us to where we want to be. It's a decision. And only you can make that decision. That's a beautiful thing, is when you make that decision to take charge, you're now back in control of your life. You're removing yourself from the things which are holding you back, the distractions, the worries, the scarcity, other people's voices, the society, the news, all those things. You are choosing to not play into that story anymore. You're refusing to participate in the things which are bringing you down or keeping you the same. Instead, you're fully participation in your happiness. You're fully participating in being present and educating yourself to where you need to be. And I hope you feel my presence in that. I hope you feel that that's what I'm trying to get at. That I believe in you, that there's so much more for you to experience in this world. And if you get that message, and that resonates with you, then make that decision. Just make that decision, okay? It's all within you. You can do this. And you're far more than you ever think you are. You're far better. You're far more beautiful. You're far thinner than you think you are. You're far more capable to earn more money. You're far more have a greater ability than you think you have. You got it all there, but our doubt gets in the way. So just give up on that and make the change that you desire. So I hope you enjoy that. So with that in mind, just make that decision in the best way possible. So I'm going to stop this right here. I hope you enjoyed it. If you want to be able to take that leap of transformation completely for free, go to www.josephclough.info/mind-mastery. That's josephclough.info/mind-mastery. Hopefully you can join my team in that transformation, but if not, just keep on shining and doing whatever it takes. It's all yours to have and to experience. So I look forward to speaking to you very, very soon.